Hello all. Today I would like to talk about team empowerment and share the practical ways to implement it as a Scrum Master based on my own experiences. So team empowerment means giving your team the autonomy they need to develop their capabilities completely. So it is important to remember that each team is unique. So some teams may find their footing within two sprints. However, other might take 2 to 3 sprints. So how does a Scrum Master empower their team? For me, when I start with a new team who are very new to Scrum as well, I follow shoe hurry approach. So in the shoe phase, we call it as a follow the rules. So here in the shoe phase, I introduce the team Scrum and encourage a strict adherence to its framework. So during the first few sprints, I work closely with the team to explain the purpose of each Scrum event, their artifacts, the role. Though I encourage them to ask questions as well if they have, but also emphasize trusting the framework because establishing a solid foundation first is very important. So this phase helps the team to build confidence in Scrum structure. Now the next phase is we call it as half phase, that is break the rules. So once the team has a solid grasp on the basic of Scrum, I help them to adopt the framework to fit based on their needs now. For instance, I remember one of my team discovered that traditional estimation technique is no longer working for them. So I encourage them to analyze and refine what is not working for them. So after analyzing, my team came up with an alternative like we will try t-shirt sizing from now on, and they proceed with that. So this is the beauty of Scrum. It provides a foundational skeleton that can be customized based on your uh, need without disturbing the core principles. So, as a Scrum Master, my role here is to support this adjustment and empower the team when they are ready. Now, the third phase, the final phase, we call it as a rephase. And this is the mastery phase. By the rephase, you will see that your team has developed the confidence and capability to adopt the Scrum practices independently. Now, from teacher, my role has been shifted to as a mentor. Now, I will provide the guidance to experiment with advanced agility. Like I remember, I helped my team to adhere lean principle, to adhere the Kanban principles. One of my team, I remember that when they were much mature than they used to be in previous sprint. Once in the during the retrospective as a process improvement, they have come up like we will use Kanban board to track our high priority defect, and that was completely fine. Like within Scrum, you can very well use Kanban board and to track your high priority defects. So like this, I can say that it helped my team to truly become a self-organized and running highly effective sprint. Now, this approach will be helpful when you join a new Scrum team. Now, there can be a scenario you are joining a team that is somewhat or more mature than a new Scrum team. But that team has still the room for growth in empowerment. So here, how you will help your team. So here in this scenario, my first recommendation would be for the first 2 3 sprint, observe the team practices closely. Understand how they conduct their Scrum event, how they manage their backlog, and interact with each other. Pay attention to their team dynamics and working agreement as well. Take note of all these observation and document them, and try to build a or prepare a maturity assessment for that team without trying to take control immediately. Now, instead, you can focus, like without taking a control, you can focus on building strong relationship with the team first, because that is very important to gain trust. Now, once you already have observed the team for a few sprints, try to understand what may be preventing them from becoming fully empowered. So for the data you have collected from your observation, it will give you a hint, an intuition that what is lagging behind. Uh, like catch that intuition. Okay. And like I can remember, like I have worked with a team uh, who were delivering on time. Stakeholders were very happy with the team, and they seem to be functioning very well. But still, I have a sense that something was still missing. So upon closer observation, I realized that it was that the team was not collaborating effectively, though they spoke frequently with each other, but there is a lack of collaboration. Now, how I figure it out, I observed that, as I mentioned, that they spoke to each other very well, very frequently, but they hardly listened to each other. When I observed that, then I realized that this is because they have a lack of collaboration, which is hindering to achieve a growth of empowerment. Now, to help them to improve in this area, what I did in one of their retrospective, I have introduced a game. We call it word association review. The idea is very simple. Like one person will start by saying a word, and then the next person listens and says a word related to the previous one. This continues around the group, with each person adding a word that associate with the last. Suppose the first person has said a word ocean. Then the next person will say like fish, which is related to ocean. Then the next person will say a word related to fish, that is water. Then the next person may be river. Then the next person may be boat. So like that, it will go on. The game will go on. You can also add a twist by toss a ball to the next people. This will ensure that everyone listens attentively, and rather than like just waiting for their turn to speak. So it will help your team to increase their listening skill. Okay. Now, when this, like I have done the game, what I did that gradually over the time, I introduced this practice into their daily scrum, where one person would nominate to the next people. So this simple adjustment, believe me, help the team to stay focused and more engaged, and it fostered the better collaboration and strengthening their bonds, and ultimately helping empowering the team. So for a team which is already established, though like kind of through a continuous observation and facilitation and encouragement of self-reflection, you can help the team build stronger self-organization and greater empowerment. So to summarize this, I can say that empowering a team is much like raising a child, where in the beginning they need guidance, they need support to build a strong sense of foundation, a basic. Now, as they grow, they are encouraged to share their opinions and make adjustments. Eventually, they will reach a level of maturity where they can confidently make their own decisions. So, however, those initial stages of support and guidance are crucial. Without them, they may take misguided action that may lead to negative consequences down the line. So I hope that this session has provided a helpful insight into empowering your team. So if you have other tried and trusted strategies, that have worked with your teams, please feel free to share them in the comment section. Thank you.